On Sundays with Subscribers this week, we had on, he's one of really my favorite political commentators out of California, Dr. Houman Hamadi. He's been on our show before. We had him on for a series we did last year called Truth Tellers, which we're going to be doing again this year, so stay tuned for that. But he's been covering, the political shift in California and everything going on. I mean, California saw a big shift toward Donald Trump from 2020 to 2024, which begs the question, do voters in California really want Gavin Newsom to be setting aside $25 million to go after the Trump administration? Here's part of my conversation with Dr. Hamadi on Sunday's show. California shifted double digits toward Donald Trump. It's still not a red state by any stretch. Donald Trump didn't win it. But I mean, when it comes to California voters trying to, wake up politicians and say, hey, you're not focusing on what we care about. Is it a popular concept to put aside $25 million or so to fight Donald Trump?
No, I don't know of one single person outside of Sacramento politicians who supports putting 1 cent aside to fight an incoming administration before they've even been inaugurated and taken power. It is absolutely ridiculous. And what is that for? This is a state that's until recently had a $76 or $78 billion deficit. This is a state that is hemorrhaging cash by giving entitlements to everyone under the sun, pumping $24 billion into homelessness that disappeared. It vaporized. No one knows where that money vanished to, right? In the last handful of years under Newsom. This is a state that had $30 billion or more in unemployment theft. Again, money that has disappeared and they don't know where it went, that now small business owners have to pay back to the federal government. It turned out it was a loan, not state taxpayer money. When that's happening, do you think there's one person alive who wants a dime spent on such a concept? And when, I tweeted about this, Brandon Richards, who's one of the communications directors for Gavin Newsom, immediately late at night, he's a rapid response director, as they're called, came in and starts posting all these things justifying that spending, saying, well, last time Trump was in office, we made so much money by suing him that it paid for the litigation. You know what? That is absolute nonsense. The people know that we are broke and the people have their priorities. The only reason Newsom is spending this money is in order to bolster his national credentials as the anti-Trump governor. He knows that Shapiro isn't doing that. He knows that Wes Moore in Maryland isn't doing that, right? He wants to be known for that, as much as I think it's going to backfire on him. And he's using taxpayer money to basically fund his political campaign for the future, claiming it's all done to help the people. Absolute nonsense. And I don't think anyone is buying it. This is going to backfire on him badly.
Yeah, and I hope it does. You can watch my whole conversation with Dr. Houman Hamadi, an author, Fox News commentator, on Sundays with Subscribers, undividedpod.com, undividedpod.com to sign up for that and all of our Sunday episodes. And I'll tell you, it was such a fascinating conversation because we talked a lot about that shift that happened, right, in California. And they rejected all these soft on crime candidates in areas that have been destroyed by progressive policies like San Francisco and LA. And we talk about what happened there to lead to that? And how can we get it to happen here? And so it's just fascinating to hear the level of parity between what happened in California and some of the things going on here. So I think there's still hope here. And that was sort of the point of that conversation is if there's hope for California, there's absolutely hope for Washington State.